and welcome to Hole in the Heart 40-day retreat with Jesus, day number 6 today. Today we're going to look at a little bit at wisdom, and we're looking at the book of James, letter of James, chapter 2 from verse 13 to 18, and I shall just read two sections from there, two verses, or three actually. It's verse 13 and then verses 17 to 18 as well. Let's start with verse 13 and then go on to 17 and 18. Who in your community is understanding and wise? Let his example, which is marked by wisdom and gentleness, blaze a trail for others. And then down to verse 17 and 18. Heavenly wisdom centers on purity, peace, gentleness, deference, mercy, and other good fruits untainted by hypocrisy. The seed that flowers into righteousness will always be planted in peace by those who embrace peace. I love that particular passage of scripture. Scripture. Right, there we go. First of all, the first point I see here is those in the community. Who in your community? We must always remember that we're part of a community. We don't stand on our own. We don't stand on an island. But wherever we find ourselves, we are part of a community. And in a community, we want to practice wisdom. So what does this wisdom do? What's it like? Well, it says here in verse 13 that it blazes a trail. Let his example, which is marked by wisdom and gentleness, blaze a trail for others. So our wisdom needs to blaze a trail for others. We need to set an example, blaze a trail, lay down markers so people can follow. But what is it? What is the trail that we are blazing? What does this trail look like? For that we skip down to verse 17. And it says, heavenly wisdom centers on purity, on gentleness, on deference, on mercy, on peace, and other fruit. Not in, and definitely not hypocrisy. So we must be straight up people of integrity and display these, or these are some of the characteristics that we need to display if we are people of wisdom. The one that kind of stood out at me is the characteristic of peace. It says here right at the end in verse 18, the seed that flowers into righteousness will always be planted in peace by those who embrace peace. So a righteous lifestyle, a righteous way of living blossoms because we are people of peace. The seeds of righteousness is found in peace, is found in those who embrace peace, those who want peace, those who are peacemakers. They're the ones who sow the seeds of righteousness. And if we live in peace, if we become peacemakers, righteousness will flower in our lives. Righteousness will flower in our community. And this is all part of wisdom. This is the wisdom of God for us, so that we can live in a way that is beneficial, a way that benefits those around us, a way that blazes a trail, that sets the tone, sets the marker for those in our community, that they can see the love of Christ, they can see the fruit bearing of us who are followers of Christ, so they can see the mercy of Jesus, the gentleness, the pureness, the peace, the deference, all these things. They can see these things because we are people of wisdom, and we've been given this wisdom by God himself. Remember in the previous a couple of days ago, I would have said that every good gift comes from God, every good and perfect gift. And if we want wisdom, we just ask for wisdom, and God gives it to us. And then all these things flow from that wisdom. Isn't that a wonderful way to live? To live in the wisdom of Christ, to be wise, to be men of peace, men and women of gentleness and deference and mercy. This is what God desires for us. And this is what spoke to me in this particular passage. But you go and read this passage. You soak it in. Read every verse there. Let every word speak to you. Let every phrase speak to you and enlighten you and bring revelation of God's love to you. God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow.